Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye up, bye up. Let's get straight to the intro. Welcome back to Gunners Collective TV. If you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure that you do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content the gun stays kicking, right? I appreciate your support, man. I'm very humbled by it. You know, this video I'm about to do, it's a touchy subject. It could be misconstrued as a little racial. It could be misconstrued as a little controversial. It can be misconstrued just to be misconstrued. There's going to be a lot of people that have an opinion, and I can't make everybody happy, but this is my prerogative, my opinion, my channel, and I'm going to do what I want to do. I made this money. You didn't, right, Ted? We out of here. Orale, Bobby Brown, right? I'm going to do some Bobby Brown right now and spit my perspective and my prerogative on this situation. Now, by now, a lot of people know the story about this kid that was murdered, Austin Metcalf, right? Allegedly, by another kid whose name is Carmelo Anthony. The name Carmelo Anthony, it's not like the NBA player, right? It's different. So it's a very unfortunate incident, first of all. Very unfortunate situation that this had to even happen. And there's a lot of people on one side with the family of the victim. And there's a lot of families and people that are on the other side with the aggressor, or in this case, the murderer, okay, the person who actually killed him. Now, this whole situation took place at a field, right? At a track meet where Austin Metcalf was a participator. He was in participation at the track meet. He had set up a tent. He was there for whatever reason. And this youngster, Carmelo Anthony, decides that if for no other reason, he's going to post up around or under the tent of Austin Metcalf. Okay, now, I don't see nothing wrong with that. You know, you're at an event. You kind of just think that, hey, you can go pretty much everywhere. It is what it is. I'm sure he was moving from tent to tent, just kind of tripping out, seeing what, you know, the festivities were all about. Now, at the same time, someone's personal property and personal space is their space. Okay? When you're at a public venue, you can pretty much go anywhere everyone else can. But, you know, you have to have common courtesy and respect. It's kind of like if you're going to, say, it's 4th of July and you're going to a fireworks show. And people have their tents set up and they have their little canopies set up and they have their little area with their chairs. You know, I remember last year I went to the beach for a 4th of July event and I got into it with the wood, brother, right? We had some words and almost had some fists, or he almost had some fists. I was feeling some type of way. It's because he was accusing me of moving his chairs when I had just pulled up. I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. It kind of looked like he was faded and he was trying to pick a fight. With that being said, I'm one of those persons that was taught a long time ago about respecting other people's property, respecting other people's space. So if I don't know you, I'm not going to be around you. If you ask me to move or get on or get away from you in a respectful fashion, I'm going to respect that, because at the end of the day, I'm going to do the same thing. If I have my spot right here, man, I don't want you by me if I don't want you by me. So anyways, Austin Metcalf allegedly told Carmelo Anthony, hey, this is my tent, my area, my space. You're not welcome here. Can you please leave? Now, what makes this conversation so interesting to people, and where people are not getting the clear picture, Austin Metcalf, the guy who died, the youngster who died in this situation that could have been prevented and was slightly provoked, was white, was Caucasian. No big deal, man. There's a lot of those in this world. And Carmelo Anthony happened to be black, African-American. There's a lot of those in this world too, okay? And that in itself is the controversy, because there's so many people out there trying to make it a black and a white thing, when it really is two youngsters who didn't agree, and it got out of hand. It's a situation that escalated and kept escalating. And whether who you want to believe is in the right or who is in the wrong, there is someone ultimately dead and someone who, yes, is going to do time no matter what type of spin his family, his lawyer, and everyone tries to put on it. Okay? This happened in Texas. Texas is I don't give a fuck state. Texas is, yes, there may be stand your ground situations, but when you pull out a weapon and you have the upper hand on the other person, you're no longer standing your ground. You're becoming an aggressor and a murderer, a killer. And I'm going to show you and tell you guys why and how that became the situation here. Now, the black and white issue is being spun as a narrative to cause racial division. Again, because the kid that got killed was white and because the guy who killed him that was black, you would think the white people would be pushing the issue saying, hey, look, it's a black man. He's an aggressor. He killed the white guy. But it's actually the opposite. It's actually the black family that are saying that he was being basically accosted, told to leave, touched, swung on, grabbed because he was black. I don't believe that to be the situation. I believe that, and I'm just being totally honest with you, I believe, and it's a cool narrative to spin, it always seems to turn out that way. Anytime there's a black and white or white and or Mexican and black or Mexican and white, it always becomes racial. And the reason it becomes racial is because race invokes emotion out of people and makes people forget what's really going on and steers the conversation to the bigotry and the hatred and all that, right? That's the truth. That's the facts. In this case, I don't even believe it was racially motivated whatsoever. I believe it is becoming that now. I believe people are turning it into that. They're trying to make it into something it wasn't or isn't. That's the world we live in, man. Now, there's a lot of different controversy we're going to get to. It's going to be kind of probably a longer video. So this happens at Texas. The facts are that Austin Metcalf has his tent set up. He's doing his thing. And somewhere along the line, Carmelo Anthony shows up to his spot and is asked by Austin Metcalf if he could leave. He wasn't welcome. He didn't know him. Who are you, bro? What are you doing here in my spot? This is my space. And Carmelo Anthony decides that if for no other reason, he's going to stand his ground there. He's not going to leave. Maybe he felt pressured. Maybe he was put on the spot. Other people were seeing. For whatever the reason is, he told him, I ain't going anywhere. And of course, Austin Metcalf was like, bro, I'm going to move you. Hands on, remove you out of my area if you don't get out of here. Now, these are two, I guess you would call their youngsters arguing, right? And, it escalates. It escalates, and it could escalate to hands-on, I'm pretty sure. But what Austin Metcalf did not know at that time was Carmelo Anthony was brandishing a knife. He had a knife on him. And so that, I guess, in itself made Carmelo Anthony probably a little bit braver because he knew what he had unbeknownst to Austin Metcalf. So Austin Metcalf is telling him, you need to leave. And witnesses are saying Austin Metcalf physically grabbed him and pushed him. Okay, after Carmelo Anthony told him, hey, touch me and see what happens. Basically indicating I got something for you. Austin Metcalf didn't know what was going on. Probably didn't think in a million years this guy had a weapon on him. So then Austin Metcalf takes a step back, like, what are you going to do? And then the guy tells him, punch me in my face and watch what happens to you. So Austin Metcalf does not punch him, but he tries to physically grab him again. And at that point in time, man, Carmelo Anthony pulls out a knife and stabs him directly in the chest, in the heart. And Austin Metcalf passes away. He dies. He succumbs to the wounds, right? So now here's where the controversy starts. Of course, they arrest Carmelo Anthony. He gets a lawyer. His family gets a lawyer. They do a GoFundMe. They're raising money in his defense. We had a live yesterday, and this subject came up. Me and Dubs were talking about it. And it was crazy because Dubs said probably one of the most realist things he said in a long time pertaining to this case, right? He said it doesn't matter about black or white. All that matters is who has more money. That's it. It boils down to money, man, because I've seen rich black guys and I've seen rich Mexican guys, get out of a situation just as much as I've seen rich white guys. So it ain't white privilege. It's not black privilege. None of that. It's a situation of who has the most money, the better lawyer, the better case, that's probably the person that's going to get the least amount of time or get out of the situation. I don't see no getting out of this situation. I know the family has done press conferences. They've raised a GoFundMe. They got him good representation, a good lawyer. And Carmelo Anthony is actually out. He is actually out on bail right now. He was arrested and he's out. His family was able to prove to a judge that he wasn't a flight risk, that he was a good student, that he was a straight A student, that he's never had a blemish on his record, all these good things. That still doesn't negate the fact he was carrying around a knife and he used it. He killed someone. Now, of course, he's going to say, man, he felt, and his defense is going to be, hey, I felt like, man, I was standing my ground. I have a right to defend myself. Yes, you have every right in life to defend yourself. You have every right of choice. You can make a choice. You made the choice to put the knife in your pocket that day. You made the choice to pull up to somebody's tent that you didn't even know and had no reason to be there. You made the choice during the argument to stay there rather than just walk away or leave when you knew you weren't welcome. You made the choice to pull out that knife and stab that guy in the heart. There was a lot of choices that were all made and they were made wrong. All this could have been avoided if you never put the knife in your pocket in the first place. You know, I understand a lot of people carry weapons, and there's that old saying, don't carry it unless you're going to use it. I get it, right? In this case, he used it. So now that self-defense, if this man never hit you, if this man just grabbed you or shoved you, yes, that could be construed as self-defense. But if the person didn't have a weapon, didn't mean imminent danger, like, hey, man, he's going to kill you or anything, then why pull out your weapon? Why tell him, touch me and watch what I have for you? You know, I've seen a lot of people that do that. That's like I had a homeboy one time, right? And we're at a party and he has something on him. And he was itching to shoot somebody. He was itching to let everyone know what he had on him. And I wasn't raised that way. I was raised, man, silence, right? Just keep your shit in the cuts. Whenever it's time, it's time. And that's that. But this guy, I don't know if he wanted to show off to the chick, show off to everyone, let everyone know that oh man, I'm a gangster. I got this on me. But I remember, this one dude, they got in an argument. Pretty much kind of same situation. Dude was like, man, get the fuck out of my house, right? You're not welcome here, bro. And he's like, run up on me and watch what's going to happen. Same situation. Now, me knowing what he had on him, I avoided that situation by telling him, hey, bro, just let's jam. Fuck that, bro. You ain't going to give me a murder charge because I'm with you. Because I knew he was going to do what he was going to do. And the other dude didn't even know what the fuck it was. When he seen me go grab him, and I told the other dude, hey, he's got something, bro. We're gone. The other dude got shocked. Now, in this case, Austin Metcalf never seen it coming. Probably didn't take his took his words lightly, man. And in that situation, he got murdered. Here's my thing. They're both in the wrong. And I could pinpoint and tell you how. First of all, you never put your hands on someone, period. I don't give a fuck if it's to push them, shove them, sock them, kick them, bite them, spit on them. None of that. Never in an aggressive manner do you put your hands on someone unless you expect the unexpected. In this world that we live in now, motherfuckers ain't lacking. People got things on them. So for that, and I'm not here to say the victim did something wrong, but he made a poor choice too, and that was putting his hands on somebody. Not a black man, not anything racial, just anyone, period. You don't do that. If he felt, hey, this guy is not here, he could have easily went to his security, did whatever he had to do. Hey, I don't even know who this guy is. This guy's acting aggressive, or this guy's whatever, doesn't want to listen. He can get the fuck up out of here. And I'm sure the situation could have been handled, and both these guys would have been better for it. I'm sure Carmelo Anthony would have been forgot about the situation already and moved on. And Austin Metcalf would be doing his thing alive. Instead, you have one guy who's facing all day in prison and another guy who's facing never again, right? Now, the families in this situation, these were two good kids. Two guys without records. No, they're not part of gangs. They weren't criminals. They didn't live that lifestyle. Just two regular kids that found themselves in a standoff and one person pulled a knife. Now, Austin Metcalf's family have come out, and of course, man, they want justice for their son. They are saddened that this situation even happened and that it escalated to this point because they lost a child. I get it. Whereas, and I'm going to be honest with you, Carmelo Anthony's family's taking a different route. I understand that they care about their kid. I care about my kids too. If my kids are in the wrong, I'm going to back them up no matter what, right or wrong. We're going to do whatever the fuck we have to do to make shit go away. I get that. But to not show any remorse or to not at least extend an olive branch to the other family and say, we're sorry that this happened to your child. They're doubling down like, well, if your child never would have touched ours, then this would have never happened. It's unfortunate that people feel this way. That parents can't be a better example. And this is the reason why things like this happen. It all starts in the home. If you're not a good example, if you're the type of father that hands your kid a pistol or hands your kid a knife, hey, you got to do this to defend yourself without teaching them how to throw these first or how to use this first to defend themselves, then you're in the wrong, man. You're in the wrong. Weapons should be a last resort. If you're living the street gang life and you're going to live by the gun and die by the gun, I get it. But a parent should never hand a child a weapon. I'm not saying that this is the case here. I'm just saying, period. Now, with Carmelo Anthony, how does it look? What do I think about him getting time? That was a question I was asked. He's going to get time. It's Texas. I understand people are trying to play the stand your ground. I understand some people are trying to make it a racially motivated thing and say, man, he's going to get a harsh punishment because he's black. Black, white, green, yellow doesn't negate the fact someone died here. They're saying, oh, if it was the other way around, the white guy would have got off. What if? It's not, though. It is what it is. The black guy didn't kill the white guy because he didn't like white people. The white guy did not kill the black guy in this case because he just didn't kill the black guy. He got killed. It's more so an argument that escalated and went fucking too far. Okay, as far as stand your ground, let me explain something to you with the stand your ground law. You have to be in imminent danger. You have to show that he's going to have to be able to prove that he felt that his life was threatened to the point that he was going to die. If someone is just grabbing you and pushing you, that doesn't give you the right to pull out a weapon and stab them to death. Okay? And it's not like he was like scared for his life. This guy basically told him, touch me and I'll sue you. Basically hit him with the, hey, touch me and watch what I got for you. So he already intended to use the weapon. He was already using it in an aggressive manner, in a threatening manner. Just wasn't telling him or showing him what he had, but basically saying, hey, if you touch me, I'm going to stab you. I'm going to try to kill you. Didn't go for the arm. Didn't fucking just swing it and jump back. Went straight to the heart with it. Straight to the heart. Now, I know the family's trying to make it into something it wasn't, and they're trying to use the best defense possible. But I'm telling you, even with all that being said, whether it being stand your ground state or self-defense, all that, that's not going to happen. This guy's going to get anywhere from 10 to 15 years for a murder too, which means he didn't go with the intention to kill someone. It wasn't premeditated. It doesn't fall under capital punishment. Nothing like that. He's not going to do life in prison. He's going to catch a murder too, which means something escalated and happened and a murder was committed, man. He's not going to get voluntary manslaughter. He's not going to get involuntary manslaughter because he truly intended to do some of catastrophic injury or catastrophic danger by hitting him in the chest area. The district attorney is going to argue because he aimed right here, that's what he deserves. Now, Texas is a little bit of a different state. They stretch you out. I don't see too many people getting away from anything in Texas. So we're going to find out exactly how it ends up for him. Now, here's some more controversy. And I kind of wanted to talk about it just a little bit, right? The family of Carmelo Anthony put up a GoFundMe. And this GoFundMe, right? They got a lot of money. There's a lot of concerned citizens, a lot of people that feel he was just a good kid in a bad situation and shit escalated and whatever. There's a lot of people picking sides here, which is crazy because both these kids needed help and there was no help there, no adults involved. So anyways, because people are sending so much money, there's a lot of controversy that the family have now moved into a gated community, have utilized the money from the GoFundMe to move in a gated community, have bought a brand new Escalade with the money. Now, look, here's my thing. This has always been my thing. They're trying to raise the money. It says right there, they're raising the money to get him a good legal defense, Carmelo Anthony's family. Also, because they are being harassed, they say they're being harassed by people in the community, which is understandable. Okay, I get it. You know, that racial stuff, it does impact people, man. It's not fake. It's not made up. It's not make believe. It really is real, man. And so they feel that, you know, because of the racial line here between black and white, they're being threatened. They decided to move into a gated community. Yes, to some people, it's like, wow, you're misappropriating the funds. You're using the money that people have sent, you know, as donations to get your son a better counsel and legal defense. And instead you're buying nice luxury cars. You're moving into gated communities. From the outside looking in, it does look a certain way. But man, why are you pocket watching in these people's wallets, all up in their purse? What they choose to do with their money is going to affect what happens to their child. So if they chose to get an Escalade and a nicer home and whatever and misappropriate the funds, well, in the end, when their son's doing life, it'll be because his lawyer sucked, right? And they didn't pay. They should have fucking used the money for that. Again, man, you don't know what's going through those people's heads. Maybe they did need a better car. Maybe they do need a gated community like they moved into because they're scared of being harassed and all that. I don't know. You know, at the end of the day, I don't know, man. You know, we can't say that the people don't know what to do with their own money. It is what it is. That right there doesn't even pertain to the situation or the case. Now, there's also some things that the lawyer that they obtained has some rather unsavory charges in the past. I don't know, man. This whole case is getting too icky and tricky for my own good, right? It's a very simple case for me. If I was a judge, it'd be very simple. You killed him. You shouldn't have had a knife. You should have never been over there. No, he shouldn't have touched you. But at the same time, that don't give you the right to fucking stab someone to death because he fucking grabbed you and told you to get out of his area. You guys were two children that should have fucking known better. And at the end of the day, one is dead. Those are the consequences for his actions for touching you. He's no longer with us. Your consequences is you're going to get a good 10 to 15 to learn about it. I don't give a fuck if you don't have a record, if you're a good kid, if you're a straight A student. Hey, the grades, the bullshit, none of that counted when you put that knife and you used it. You know, so whatever is going on with you, man, you still violated the rule of law. You still got to go do some prison time. And then maybe the next time you're confronted or there's a situation, you won't fucking put a knife in your pocket and use it. Maybe when you're told, hey, we don't want you here, you'll fucking walk away. It's that simple. Anyways, let me know what you think, man. That's my opinion on it. It's going to be a big case. It's gaining national momentum. Everyone's talking about it. You know, I really didn't want to do a video on it because everyone's doing them. I think, to be totally honest with you, in this case, man, this black kid's going to do some time. And it's not because he's black. And it's not because the other kid's white. You know, was it racially motivated? Did the white guy not want the black guy around him because he was black? I don't know. You know, I don't know. Peanut butter and jelly don't care for each other. Okay, but the bread's going to bring them together all the time. It just is what it is. With that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people. I got too many fucking bangers coming out today, but it's all good. I'm ready to work the gun.